everybody. Welcome back to the weekly Leap videos. I'm Renee Blasky of the Leap Network. And hopefully by now you've had the chance to look at the first 3 videos in this Courage, Risk, and Rewards video series. So you will have explored what it means to take a chance and make a mistake. That was in video 1. You've discovered what your attitude is towards taking chances, and you looked at why you avoid risk and explored ideas to support you in taking risks. Okay? If you haven't had a chance to go and watch those videos, please do, because I think you'll gain some very interesting perspectives of why you haven't done what you've done or why you did do what you do and what you learned from them. Okay? But in this video, I want you to, we're going to kind of go around full circle and we're going to discuss what you gain from taking those chances. All right? Now, it may just be a matter of perspective when you focus on what you gain rather than what you perhaps could lose. Okay? So we know that in most cases, you're not going to, the loss is not going to be catastrophic. Maybe it's just you get embarrassed, same thing, or you think badly about yourself. Those are some of the things that we talked about in one of the previous videos. But if we look logically at what we stand to lose and what we actually stand to gain, and then make an educated decision on how to go forward, more than likely the chances will outweigh the losses. So if we consistently take risks in our lives, we're ultimately going to come out ahead. You look at any of the inventors, Thomas Edison, for instance, when he created the light bulb, do you think he did it on his first time? No. Did he get ridiculed? Probably. Did he try over and over and over again and get frustrated? He actually failed 1,000 times. Can you imagine? He just kept going, persistence, because he knew that the potential outcome outweighed the potential loss that he would face by being a failure. And he only needed one time to be successful, right? And it just, he just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. Same thing with Benjamin Franklin and some of these other great inventors. They've changed our lives because they didn't give up. They weren't afraid of the risks. So I know you have the capability to take risk. You've proven it when you went and learned how to walk. You learned how to run. You probably learned how to ride a bicycle. You probably learned how to drive a car. Every single one of those involves risk. Now, can you imagine a toddler when they're learning how to walk if they gave up every time they fell down? We'd all be still crawling. And what would happen then? We'd have a bunch of people in the world just crawling all over the place. Okay? So, taking risk can reap big rewards. You may fall down, you may cut yourself, you may bruise yourself, but in the end, you will get up and walk and run and drive and ride that bicycle. Okay? So when you change your perspective, that's an important reason and way that you can accept more risk in your life. Okay? And how much happier are you that you're running or you're riding a bike or you're driving than if you're crawling? Okay? Can you imagine if you were still crawling? So you know you have it in it to be courageous. Keep that in mind. You can do the same thing now, but you have to be persistent. You have to refuse to give up. In other words, you have to give yourself some tough love. Okay? You know it's good for you to take risks. So let's take a closer look at the rewards that we can get when we take chances. Okay? So I want you to take a moment to think of a risk that you've been hesitant in taking. Either it's in your personal life or it's in your business or in a relationship. What is it that you've been thinking about doing but have been hesitating because of your fear of risk? Now I want you to take a 5-minute exercise. Get out a sheet of paper or again, look at the ebook that you have downloaded and there's a template in that or a worksheet in that. Okay? So think of that thing that you've been hesitant to do. Now, if you're using a sheet of paper, I want you to fold it in half so that you have 2 columns. Okay? In the first column, I want you to list what you think you will lose if you take that risk that you've hesitated in taking. So what will you lose and what will happen if it doesn't work out? Just write down everything that you stand to lose and everything that would happen if it didn't work out the way you wanted it to. Just write. Don't overthink it. Just keep writing. Keep it flowing. Okay? And maybe you want to do it for more than one risk that you've been thinking about doing. That's okay too. So what do you stand to lose? That's in your first column. Okay? Stop the video if you need to and just keep writing. Take 3 to 5 minutes to do this. What do you stand to lose? And you remember those factors in the previous video. Will I be embarrassed? Will I feel lost? Will I be ridiculed? Am I afraid to fail? What is it that you stand to lose? Maybe it's even money or your time. Okay? Because typically speaking, we'll always spend time. So stop the video and just continue writing down those things. When you're ready, start it again. Okay? Now, hopefully you've taken the time to write out all those things that you stand to lose if you took that risk that you've been hesitating to take. You've written down all the positive or the possible negative outcomes that you can even imagine. Okay? Now, in the other column, for everything you've written down, I want you to counter it with what is the possible positive outcome that you can imagine. So, for instance, I was fearful that I'd be ridiculed by my friends. And the positive outcome would be they think I'm brilliant. And they can't believe that they're friends of mine because I'm so brilliant. And they get to be friends with a brilliant person. Okay? So for every negative, I want you to counter it with a positive. So you should have the same number of positives that you had as negatives in your sheets. So again, take a few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, and write these down. Right across. What do I stand to lose should be on one side. What do I stand to gain should be on the outside. So they counter each other. Take a minute or two to do this. Stop the video if you have to. All right, congratulations, you've finished this exercise. Now, I want you to answer the 2 questions. A few questions, actually. What did you notice when you identified the possible rewards of taking risk instead of concentrating or focusing on the losses? Did your mind change? Did you get that different perspective? That all of a sudden you thought maybe the possible positive outcomes overrides the possible losses. Did that happen? Did it happen in every single case? Or did it happen in the majority? Or did it happen just for a few times? Look at that. And what did you notice? Once you're done with that, I want you to identify possible rewards when assessing risk. Okay? So why do you want to do this? So every time in the future when you're looking at a risk, don't just concentrate on the losses. Concentrate on focusing on the possible outcomes that benefit you. They're positive outcomes. They're getting you one step closer to your dream life, to your dream business, to your dream relationship. Okay? And how does that reframe your ability to take risk? Does it give you more courage? I hope so. All right? Also, when you do something and you take that courageous step, what instant reward can you give yourself? Can you say, okay, I'm going to have a self-care day because I finally did this? Doesn't need to be big, okay? Go out and have an ice cream cone, or what's your favorite dessert or something. But be careful, don't do it too many times, because when you get really on a roll and the momentum starts building, your courage is going to go skyrocketing. And if you're eating ice cream or having something really sweet and high calories, you may end up somewhere you don't want to be. Okay, so keep that in mind. But give yourself a small reward, even if it just means putting on some great music and dancing, or calling up a good friend and sharing the great news. Okay, celebrate the fact that you took the courage, you had it, and you weighed the risks and the rewards, and you came out ahead by grabbing that reward. Okay, so the other thing I want you to examine during this whole process is, what did you learn from this exercise? Did you learn how to focus on the positive rather than focusing on the possible losses? I hope you did, because that's when you really make the decision to go for it and to have that courage to look at the risks in a different perspective, have a change in your mindset. Because if you can't change your mindset, you're going to have a problem reaching your goals. So I just really want you to go for it. I want you to take that leap. Okay, I think you'll be happy that you did. So watch out for part 5, the next video in the series, and we're going to review it and lock it in. Okay, so until next time, I want you to take that leap. Focus on the positive. Take care. Bye.